This program is brought to you by First National Bank of Botswana. Good evening and a very warm welcome to First Issues. In the world of music, a hit single, one hit single, can launch a career overnight. But in an industry built on fleeting fame and constant trend shifts, what separates a star from a sustainable business? To understand true musical staying power, we traveled to the village of Marobela to meet a man whose career spans over 3 decades. An artist who found his niche not by chasing trends, but by digging deep into his roots, the legendary Ndingo Johwa, the business model of traditional folk music. Mr. Johwa, or Sachilombe as he's affectionately recognized within his fan base, is known globally for his mastery of the Dambena guitar style and his unique Afrofolk sound. While many artists of his era have faded, he remains a consistent force on the global circuit. In the business sense, his music is his brand's foundation, a brand that has remained remarkably consistent since the 1990s. So what is the secret to his staying power?
Relevance, yes. Because it's something that you like, passion, you know. You don't start thinking about making money. You start thinking about, pleasing yourself first and then others as well. I think that's the contributing factor. I also tell myself that, for me to survive, I can't please everybody. I remember when I started music, a lot of people thought I was tribalistic because I told myself, I said, no, look, for me to be successful in everything that I do, I must only concentrate on something that I can do very well, something that I know best. And then how did I do that to incorporate into music? I said, the only way I can be very successful in what I'm doing, I should sing in my mother tongue. That was a contributing factor. And I stayed relevant there. I didn't deviate. And then some people said, but I was not persuaded because that was not what I was doing, and that was not, I was not tribalistic, no, I wasn't. I only lived the life that I should live, and then I became me, I became real Ndingo, not somebody else, yes.
But timelessness alone does not pay the bills. The biggest threat to legacy artists today is surprisingly not competition. It's becoming outdated. The shift to digital distribution and streaming services demands adaptation, and Sachilombe had to figure out how to put a sound rooted in oral tradition onto platforms like Spotify and Apple Music.
Let's accept that Botswana is a small country in terms of population. In music, for you to be successful, you need numbers. I cannot pretend that Agilimo Botswana, population 2.5 million, and then pretend and tell myself that I'll be very successful by just living on music. I need to do other things to complement. And with time, the market became saturated because I was not the only one selling music at that time. And then we're also encouraged by developments. Life is not static, it's dynamic. So we ended up also being encouraged by other people to say, no, look, sell your music online And then we also believe that it was a good thing, and then people start downloading music. There are two sides to it. It's actually a double-edged sword. If it doesn't pay you, it can market you. There are people today who know about Ndingo Johwa in Russia because they saw the music online.
Staying true to his sound has kept his brand untainted. That is, staying true to his Ikalanga folk music even when trends shifted. While his peers spent money trying to create a crossover hit, Sachilombe focused on deepening his core value proposition. He did not try to become pop. He licensed his authentic sound for documentaries and world music compilations, creating new, stable revenue streams. His commitment to his genre made him a niche expert, shielding him from the volatility of mainstream trends.
Well, there's only one Ndingo in the whole world. You understand? And there's only one it doesn't matter where you are. If you were in Japan and you're walking the streets, and then a Japanese said to you, Adumela Temma, you stop and say, no, what is he talking about? Aurana, you know. So, to stay relevant, everything that is original, this is why even artifacts, but Dombo Shaba there, we got rings. Government has said, please don't touch those things because they're the origins. So once you have started building your own base, you must stay there so that those who are also coming behind many years after I've died, they will also still want to know about Ndingo. Yes. History is there to stay, is there to remain our legacy. Yeah.
bitsa motho gore motho a leke mangwala go duela metsi.
Mama, ka re male jana ha o tlhokana le go tsamela kgakala gore go duela metsi. FNB re diretse tiro motho. Ma kwa go marekisetsong a ile gore ana le tshwao la FNB Cash Plus. Se se tlhokanyela ke o mang wa gago mo tirisong le reference number e bon dinomoro tse di diriswang go rurihatsa dituelo tsa gago.
FNB what?
FNB Cash Plus.
Madonna makante ke ngontso sampolele ka mananeo ya FNB ya Cash Plus.
La ha re le nna ke gone go utang ka dona ebile ke ne ke sa dumele.
Deposit cash and coins, withdraw from e-wallet, make cardless cash withdrawals, buy prepaid airtime and electricity, pay bills such as water, electricity and many more.
FNB. Dona. Nyawa ena ke ra sa thara. Mpare motiki. Na ke ra go motho hela mamarapedi. O tola skontere hela. Wa go semosong wa go duela semosong. Manane wa FNB Cash Plus.
FNB, how can we help you?
I remember when I started music, a lot of people thought I was tribalistic because I told myself, I said, no, for me to be successful in everything that I do, I must only concentrate on something that I can do very well, something that I know best. And then how did I do that to incorporate into music? I said, well, the only way I can be very successful in what I'm doing, I should sing in my mother tongue.
Welcome back to First Issues as we continue our conversation with the legendary Ndingo Johwa, discussing what the secret to his staying power is. Further to all this, the anchor that truly holds Sachilombe steady against the tidal wave of the music business is not artistic, it is actually economic. It is a detail that often surprises those unfamiliar with his full biography. Johwa is not just a musician. He's also a qualified heavy machinery specialist and was known in small-scale construction and now small-scale subsistence farming.
Or like we said earlier on, that our population, you need numbers to make money, in music. And then this can only be achieved in countries where they have very large population. And then again, you need to be able to succeed. You need capital to build whatever you want to do, and the only way you can sustain that is when you have resources. And then I deliberately went into many things to try and create a base so that knowing that music would not make it alone, I needed to first make capital, and this is what I thought would sustain the music. Even right now, it's not to say, let's look at the way. Who will go and buy a CD like currently, when there is no shisha in the house? It's not possible, right? So we must be very, very relevant, and then we must really face reality. There is a time when music can sell. This is when everybody is happy, the economies are right, and everything is fine. But where there is some problems, there are priorities. There is no way people who flock in a show, Ndingo Johwa, Ajija 200, Pula, gate takings, me hosna seshabo, when there is no relish at home. It's not possible. So we need to balance issues, yes.
In an industry obsessed with virality, Ndingo Johwa offers a sound counter-narrative, a successful career proving that slow growth, authenticity, and unwavering brand consistency can be the most profitable and enduring strategy of all, instead of relying on social media gimmicks to stay relevant.
There's quantity and there's quality. So when you strive to make quality, you do things that will attract people. And then there's what we call bubblegum music. This is when you compose to get people excited and then from there forget you. But when you compose songs with messages that will stay, people that can relate to, you would not want to be as common as people would expect you to be, but then you stick to what is quality, and then you stick what is best, and then stay there. Well, because you can't rule away social media, it is very important. It puts you there in the picture so that people can decide whether they like you or they don't like you, and but there is a limit to what you can do. It also has its own disadvantages. For example, I can compose a song like today and then want to benefit from it. Anybody from nowhere, they can download it and then start making it viral, and then it will just lose value, and therefore straight away I'm disadvantaged. So much as it is a good marketing tool, it also has its own disadvantages, you see. Before you can even just make a table out of it, everybody knows about it, and then it has also lost value.
Ultimately, Ndingo Johwa's success is a testament to a combination of uncompromising cultural authenticity and calculated financial stability. He secured his place as a pioneer by defining a unique sound and ensured his staying power by treating his music as a passion supported by rather than dependent on his business ventures. And with that, we will see you shortly after commercials.
Ta bitsa motho gore motho a leke mangwala go duela metsi.
Mama, ka rama le jaana ha o tlhoka le go tsamela kgakala gore go duela metsi. FNB re diretse tiro motlho.
Senthe.
Ma kwa go marekisetsong a ile gore ana le tshwao la FNB Cash Plus. Se se tlhokanyela ke o mang wa gago mo tirisong le reference number e bong dinomoro tse di diriswang go ruragatsa dituelo tsa gago.
FNB what?
FNB Cash Plus.
Madonna makante ke ngontso sampolele ka mananeo a FNB ya Cash Plus.
Hela, ha re le nna ke gone go utlwang ka dona. Ebile ke ne ke sa dumele.
Deposit cash and coins, withdraw from e-wallet, make cardless cash withdrawals, buy prepaid airtime and electricity, pay bills such as water, electricity and many more.
FNB.
Dona. Nyawa ene ke ra sa thare. Mpare motiki. Na ke ra go motho ya la mamrapedi. O tola skontere hela. O bua go semosong wa go duela semosong. Manane wa FNB Cash Plus.
FNB, how can we help you?
Welcome back to First Issues. Previously, we spoke about discipline and what you eat and drink during the festive break as an entrepreneur to help you stay healthy. Our guest, Dr. Bhagat, spoke about limiting food portions, substituting some foods with healthier options, and trying as much as possible to avoid alcohol. The doctor is back again, this time to talk about recovering from the festive break in preparation for the new year, especially if you indulged a little too much. So, eventually the parties come to an end, and because there's been so much food that are leftovers, how do we go about managing the leftover food and ensuring that also we are recovering, from the stress, from the sleep deprivation, and all of the eating?
I think what I would suggest, and I've suggested this to all my patients, is to repurpose what you've baked and what you've eaten. So don't eat the same rich meat. Don't eat the same baked puddings and baked cakes. Make stews from the leftovers. Thinly cut sandwiches if you like. A lot more fresh salad and vegetables. Your morojo, and you go back and mix it with all of that, dilute it. And recovery mainly is to recover by focusing on clean eating. And the clean eating is not expensive. It's fruit, it's vegetables, it's salads, it's lean meat to reset your system, because you got to take out the sugar and the alcohol and the salt and the fat from your system before you start the new year.
The 2 weeks period that is the festive season for a lot of people is plagued with a lot of drinking, right? Whether it's alcohol or very sugary drinks, and this leads to dehydration, like you rightfully said earlier. So how do we go about trying to rehydrate our bodies so that we are prepared for the new year, we are invigorated, strengthened to tackle the new year? There
are two major organs in the body that are your detox organs. It stops me from having to talk about detox in the new year. And that is your liver and your kidneys. And both the liver and the kidneys require hydration. And you're right that consecutively for the last 2 weeks of the year, people are having office parties and home parties and Christmas parties, and the dehydration begins to compound itself, and so the kidneys are dry, the liver is not functioning well, it's stressed by the alcohol and the calorie content. So the hydration will flush the sugar and the salt and the fat from your system, remove the rich foods from your system, reduce the puffiness of the body, and will re-energize you. And I know everybody knows this, but they should be drinking between 7 to 8 glasses of water, 1.5 to 2 liters daily of water, not juice, not fizzy drinks, water.
So let us land our plane, doctor. How do we effectively plan out our festive season so that when we start out the new year, we're ready for it, all recovered, rehydrated, and just ready to take on a new challenge that is the new year?
I think the message for the new year should be to practice mindful eating. I think it's really, before you put anything in your mouth, I think you just pause for 3 seconds. It's very easy to do, and ask yourself just 2 questions. Am I hungry or am I just bored? You know, too many of my patients know that it's breakfast time, and they will eat because it's breakfast time, or they'll eat lunch because it's lunchtime, or they'll eat supper. Ask yourself, am I really truly hungry or not? And if you practice that mindful eating, people will lose weight automatically. You know, we've talked about the Ozempic pandemic, that everybody's using these injections to lose weight. I think if you just practice a bit of mindful eating, it'll be much better. And when you do eat, I think after you put that fork in your mouth, put the fork down, chew and savor the food, and then pick up your fork again. I see so many people literally just putting spoon after spoon after spoon into their mouth and swallowing the food. So that, I think, is a combination of balance and enjoyment.
We hope you were informed with enough tips on how to recover from the festivities of the Christmas break and are now ready to prepare to take the year by the horns. And with that, Happy New Year and good night. This program was proudly brought to you by First National Bank of Botswana.